Hey everyone, before I get into the video, I just wanted to say ignore the watermark on the video of the editing software that I'm using. This is the first time I'm using it, and I don't know if I still want to make the yearly investment of using this as my go-to software for these videos. So enjoy the video, but just try to ignore that part, okay? Thanks. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Own Your Own Freedom. And I just want to tell you, there is nothing like watching someone pretend like they are better than everybody else at the table, than everybody else who's talking. Oh, no one understands what they're saying. They're so intelligent. They have the best ideas. God, there is nothing like watching that fake superiority of a covert narcissist. And that's what this video is about today, because it's just, I just saw it the other day, and it just reminded me of my my ex, who was a narcissist, I believe. And it's just actually, now that I see it, it's laughable. Like, this person who's clearly like mediocre at best, trying to pretend like he's superior than everybody at the table, who has the best ideas, not knowing that your idea has been said and done a million times, So let me just start and say that people usually perceive covert narcissists as shy and humble. But that's only when they're trying to impress people. So if you're at a table and there's a covert narcissist, and there's someone also there that they want to impress, whether it be you or whether it be someone else, they will put on the show as if they are shy and humble, and say that person, someone at the table, whether it be a flying monkey or not, someone at the table acknowledges something that they've done that is really good or really noble or whatever the case may be. And they come out and they just say, I'm just so thankful, because I have, support system. They just try to pretend like they're humble. You know what I mean? So that is usually the case, but that's only when they're trying to impress people or when they're trying to gain sympathy from other people. But for the most part, they're not at all humble. They are just as narcissistically arrogant as an overt narcissist. It's just that the overt narcissist actually has the balls to come out, or cojones, or like for women too, the balls to come out and be honest about what they expect from other people. The covert narcissist is too much of a wuss to actually demand that people treat him or her a certain way. They simply expect it and they simply elicit it by pretending to be something they're not. So, and also, when comfortable, these covert narcissists may exhibit some behavior that's sort of oddly placed, and it's like this unearned superiority, like I've been mentioning, with at the table with everybody around the table is having a conversation. It's chill. It's nothing big, not a big deal, but they just exhibit this like unearned superiority behavior and these like nonverbal cues that make everyone else feel like, what? Like, why are you like? It doesn't make any sense. And I'll give you a couple examples as I go on. But let me first start with some of the examples of what this behavior looks like, this body behavior, these nonverbal cues. Number one, the eye contact or the lack of eye contact. So when they aren't listening to your story, or they're just waiting for you to shut up, they just won't look at you. They'll just look away, and they will not acknowledge that you're speaking. They're waiting for you to shut up, and they're waiting for you to stop complaining, whether it be you're confronting them on their own behavior, or whether you're trying to explain something they supposedly didn't understand, even though narcissists don't just not understand something. They simply refuse to understand your point of view because you don't matter to them. So they don't acknowledge you. And one of the ways they don't acknowledge you or validate what you're saying is by not giving you eye contact, because they want you to feel as insignificant as they feel in reality. So that's one of the things that bugs me about dealing with narcissists, is that lack of eye contact, because eye contact allows you to relate and to communicate with the other person that they are of value. That's why they say it. You should do it with children. You should do it with people you love. Eye contact. When you're speaking to someone, it makes them feel like you have their undivided attention, and they don't want you to have that. So they don't give it to you. Another one is the eye roll, which is like, teenagers, they give the eye roll, when it's just like by the time you're an adult, you should grow out of it, but they don't grow. So they have these points in a conversation with you where they will just simply roll their eyes. And once again, they're waiting for you to shut up. That's another one of their displays of displeasure or disagreement with your rendition of facts. This is quote unquote, because typically what you see as fact is reality, and what they see is what they see is typically through their lens of delusion and of their false self of you owe them everything, all the things in the universe belong to them. So, and it's also a form of gaslighting, because in reality, when you roll your eyes and you don't acknowledge and validate what someone's saying, you're basically saying that they're insane, that you don't believe what they're saying, and it's accompanied by, oh, this again, why do you always do that? Or like, I don't understand that's not what happened. Why are you saying it like that? It's a form of gaslighting to make you feel crazy and make you second guess what you're saying to be true. And that typically is a form of gaslighting that works, unfortunately. Another one is sighing. Ugh, I hate sighing, especially because they're oddly placed. You could be explaining something as simple as like how to put the cap on the toothpaste, and they'll start sighing like what you're saying is not true or whatever. It's like, this has nothing to do with your opinion. Can I just explain what I'm explaining? And it may be misplaced, but it's sort of another sign of displeasure or their superiority over you, or believed superiority. It's a sign of annoyance and displeasure. It means that they're being inattentive to your needs or inattentive to even what you're saying, and that means that you don't mean anything to them. So they're sighing because they're once again waiting for you to shut up, or they're trying to get you to cue, trying to cue you like to let them speak. It's also a sign of boredom, like yawning. And yawning also is another form of sign that falls into this category. It's quite annoying, but it's a common tactic to sigh, usually really big and really dramatically. And it's sort of like no one at this table cares. But smugness, that's another one. Being smug, it's a superiority that doesn't even make sense in the context of the conversation. I go back to the table situation because that's when you really get to see them on display. Because while everyone is having fun and relating to each other and being kind and being understanding and and it's just simple human interaction, because they don't understand and they can't experience normal human interaction because of their false self and their huge gaping hole in their humanity, they simply they display these actions of smugness, like crossing their arms, having a distance between themselves, like their chair and the table. They'll literally sit back with their arms crossed and their legs crossed. And it's like, everyone's having fun. Why are you being a total dick? Or which, depending on, the gender. So, and it's physical and like linguistical distance from you or others involved in the conversation or involved in the moment. This reminds me of when my ex and I had first sort of started like really getting to know each other. We were at some sort of like an event with some friends. We were at lunch with some friends, and he was like, I was talking to this guy across the table. This guy was, the guy that I was seeing was across the table, but on the other side, on the other corner, I was totally like having some fun, laughing and sort of teasing one of the guys over there. And it was weird because we were having fun, but then when I tried to have fun with this guy, the guy that I ended up dating later, I sort of was like teasing him like, well, what's up with you? Because I saw him being all smug, and I was like, what's up with you? And he was like, I don't need to talk to you. And he like waved his hand at me, like in the sort of like go, like shoo. And in the moment, I'm like, it doesn't even make sense because everybody else is happy. Everybody else is having fun. And he waved me off like, and I don't even know this guy. So it was like, this is what I mean by misplaced smugness or superiority. You can act that way in other situations, like if someone is testing your superiority, but because they're so sensitive, like even initiating conversation with them, they have to assert themselves in like this pathetic way. Like, because he's a covert narcissist, he was pathetic. He didn't have the balls to say, yeah, I just don't feel like talking right now. He was just like, nah, and waved me off. And I'm like, okay, well, forget you. I'm moving to the next person, because that's what you do when you have high energy. You move on and you forget these, parasites. And so the next one, the last one, is that they will tune you out. And that's something that, like I said about the eye roll, it's something that you find with like teenagers. They just simply won't listen to you. And immature people in general do that. They will just tune you out instead of listening and responding and, and asserting themselves in a positive air. These people will simply tune you out. They judge people in situations without thoroughly listening or thoroughly understanding where they're coming from. They are terrible listeners, and that's intentional. They don't want to understand. They don't want to listen to you because you are there to serve them. So they can't listen to you. They can't be receptive to you. So they just simply tune you out. If you're not saying anything that has anything to do with benefiting them, they just tune you out, and especially if you're out of the love bombing phase, it's like they tune you out pretty much like 85% of the time. I mean, because the relationships don't go positively in any way, they simply have to tune you out to make sure they never have to acknowledge that they're a screwed up person. So, and also because they don't, like I said, they don't have the balls to be honest or be upfront or be assertive. Because they have this inward shame-based reality. Everything that they do is so like covert. It is so passive aggressive. It's annoying, and that's what makes them, really, seem like a snake in the grass. So, thanks for watching this video. Leave a comment down below with the hashtag #OwnYourOwnFreedom and share your experience of being with a narcissist, whether it be a covert or an overt, or whether it be at a table, whether it be in a family event, whether it be your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend, whatever the case may be. Share your experience down below. And if you like this content, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss a video. And I will see you on the next one.